What's up, gearheads? It's Trev, and it's time for another quick little product review. Today we're checking out the Smittybilt trail jack. Now when it comes to trail jacks, or farm jacks as they're sometimes known, most off-roaders go with the High Lift brand. High Lift makes a variety of sizes and they have a whole bunch of options. They usually range anywhere from like $100 to $200, and then on top of that you get accessory kits. The Smittybilt trail jack is $50. Granted, we're at another, made in China, made in USA comparison, and usually I favor made in the USA, but sometimes I favor saving some money. So what do I like about my Smittybilt trail jack? Well, for one, it was cheap. Two, it's got pretty much everything the High Lift has. One major difference is the lifting point right down here. The High Lifts usually have a flat, knurled lift point, kind of like this section, whereas the Smittybilt has a few curves in it. Why do I like those curves? Well, I've got a tubular bumper. It grabs the bumper great. If I had a High Lift version, I'd have to worry about the jack slipping off my particular style bumper. It also came with this rubber handle isolator. Just like the High Lift, this point can be used to clamp, spread, winch, as long as you have the proper equipment to winch with it, and is adjustable all over. What don't I like about the Smittybilt trail jack? Well, as I'm sure you can see, the paint doesn't hold up too great. I've had this for about 1.5 years. I have put it to use a few times though. It's also got these little rubber grips down here to help keep the handle clamped onto the bar and to keep it from rattling too much. But they don't stay on too well, and I lost one a long time ago. Other than that, I really do like this jack. As long as you lubricate it every time you use it, which is recommended with any trail jack, it gets the job done. To operate the jack, first thing you do is lube up the stepping points. Next, find yourself a good lift point. From there, it's just a matter of cranking the handle, and this will walk its way up. Now bear in mind, a trail jack like this is probably the most dangerous jack that you can use. So, once you've got it to a point where you're putting pressure on it, make sure everything's as straight as possible. You'll see that's not entirely stable, and it doesn't take much either way to lean on this thing for it to tip over. And that's just the nature of the beast. It doesn't matter what brand you have. Now when there's weight on this, it can walk itself down as well, which makes things a lot safer. So to do that, you flip this lever down, then one full motion on the handle will reverse the mechanism. Then you just crank it down. Once you get down to the point where there is no longer weight, it will be released from its locking mechanism. As you see, once the weight is gone, this freely slides, so you just adjust it wherever you want, flip the lever back up, and pack it away. So here's the thing about trail jacks. It's kind of rare that you actually do need to use it. That causes a lot of people to tell you, don't waste your money. Yet it's a tool that is considered essential by many off-road enthusiasts. Well, if you want my opinion, take it from somebody who's been happy they had it when they did need it. For the $50 that the Smittybilt trail jack costs, you can't go wrong. And that's why I give this trail jack thumbs up. Now, real quick, I would just like to reiterate the fact that a trail jack is a dangerous style jack. It's extremely capable and you can use it for a lot of things, but just keep in mind, dangerous jack. And the one thing I'd really like to note is it is not recommended to change a tire with a trail jack alone, especially on a lot of four-wheel drive vehicles or lifted vehicles. By the time you get that jack raised high enough that it has lifted the tire off the ground so you can remove it to change it, that jack is going to be way too high up and way too far off balance for it to be even remotely safe. They do sell accessories. There's a tire sling that you can get for it that hooks into the rim. You can then jack it up, and instead of lifting the chassis, extending the suspension until it pulls the wheel, you hook this sling into the wheel, it lifts directly from the wheel and pulls up the axle, and from there you can put a jack stand or some type of improvised jack stand if you're on the trail underneath the axle to support it, release the tension from the jack, take off the sling, change your wheel, and then reverse the process to get it back down on the ground. So, again, I like the Smittybilt trail jack. It's, for $50, it's worth it. But if you're going to use a trail jack, be safe. Talk to you guys later.